So as I mentioned before, there are three main types of root beers. You got A&W, BARQ'S, and Mug. And today we are going to be reviewing the one that came out first. Possibly the first ever root beer. That is BARQ'S root beer. So editor, cue that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brock and I review root beers, so you can call me Root Beer Brock. Now on this episode, we are reviewing BARQ'S root beer. Now BARQ'S root beer was founded by Edward Barq, who along with his brother Gaston were principals of Barq Brothers Bottling Company, founded in the New Orleans French Quarter in 1890. Now that was a tongue twister. However, let's continue. In 1897, Edward Barq bottled and sold his first BARQ'S root beer, and in 1898, BARQ'S was officially born. For many decades, BARQ'S was not marketed as root beer because they feared that they would be in a legal conflict with Hires Root Beer, which Hires Root Beer was the very first root beer company ever made. And it is a shame because Hires Root Beer is actually no longer in business. Dr. Pepper and Keurig actually dropped Hires a few years ago when they brought in A&W. It's unfortunate because I wish I could have tried the first ever root beer company. But anyways, BARQ'S really feared that Hires would sue them or something for using the term root beer. So many decades they just didn't use it at all. It was also due to the fact that BARQ'S had traits that some root beers didn't, and they feared that they were kind of too different from those other root beer brands. The formulation of BARQ'S had a sarsaparilla base and contained less sugar and had a lot more carbonation to it. However, with more carbonation, it was a lot less foamy than other brands, which is really interesting about BARQ'S because one of the biggest things when you think of root beers, you think of the foam and how much foam it produces when it is poured out. So I have noticed this about BARQ'S, and I haven't tried BARQ'S in a while, so I'm really interested to find this to be the case today. Is it doesn't have as much foam. Alright, so the traditional slogan of BARQ'S is drink BARQ'S, it's good. Which I actually really love this slogan. It's very simple. It's really funny to me because, I don't know, there's something about simple slogans like this that I just find really funny. Like, it's good. Try it, man. Try it. Try it. So I'm very interested. Is it good? Is it this good? As it says. Which this slogan was actually coined by the inventor, Edward Barq, in 1935. Now, skipping ahead quite a bit, in 1993 and 1994, BARQ'S reached coast to coast, supplying 440 markets and millions of people with the one with bite. And I'm going to explain more of the one with bite right now. So in 1995, BARQ'S was purchased by Coca-Cola Company, which brings so much success to BARQ'S, which is a reason why it is a main root beer brand today, why it is up there with A&W and Mug, why it's so commercial. Because you can get BARQ'S in restaurants, movie theaters, a lot of fountain machines are Coca-Cola, which is a reason why you see BARQ'S most of the time at these soda fountain machines. So more success that came when Coca-Cola purchased BARQ'S was later in 1995, BARQ'S released some commercials. Now, these commercials were really goofy, really out there, and I realized like that root beer has a lot of commercials out there. So get this video to 35 likes, and I will release a reaction video of me reacting to root beer commercials, which I think will be a funny video. But yeah, BARQ'S released these commercials with the claim BARQ'S has bite. And so with this bite, they wanted a culprit. And the culprit was Barky the dog as a mascot. And Barky the dog is absolutely terrifying. I am terrified of that thing. I looked it up while I was making this video, and I'm going to have nightmares tonight for sure. Not as much as the mug root beer is giving me lately, but we're not getting into that. But yeah, so that's pretty much BARQ'S root beer for you. BARQ'S has bite, and so we're about to find out. Does BARQ'S really have that bite? So without further ado, let's break out the glass. Alright, so I got the glass and the can. So BARQ'S comes in cans mostly. They also have 2 liters, and I looked, and on Amazon you can actually find them in glass bottles, which I didn't know that. I've always seen BARQ'S in cans and 2 liters. I want to thank 2 very special people who gifted me this BARQ'S root beer. I want to thank Jeff and Terry, who are dear friends of mine, and Jeff is my barber. He gives me all the sick cuts, G-Free Sports Cuts. It's on Main Street when you're driving in Skytook, Oklahoma. So if you ever see it, stop by. He'll give you a sick haircut, just like Root Beer Brock here. So I want to thank you all so much for this root beer. I'm excited to do this review because I haven't had a BARQ'S root beer in quite some time. So let's go ahead and open it. Oh yeah. Alright, so like I said a minute ago, BARQ'S is different from other root beers because it doesn't produce much foam. And actually, hang on, let me... Ooh, just made a mess there. But here is the can. See, here it is. It's good. Since 1898, and then it's root beer, and it's BARQ'S. Right there. I don't know how I feel about the presentation logo. I really like the cans more than the 2 liter. The 2 liter is kind of boring looking, but I think the cans are class. I like the chrome of them, and of course the classic root beer barrels. However, let's go ahead and pour this in the mug. Yeah, that foam, I'm sorry y'all didn't get to see that because my camera angle, but the foam disappeared like instantly as soon as I filled it up to the top, like you would have with a Dr. Pepper or something, or I guess I should say Coke because this is a Coke product. And so, yeah, let's get it. Gosh, that is that is a strong root beer here. So, all right, let's do it. BARQ'S root beer going in. Oh. I don't know. A part of me likes it, but another part, it's strong. It really is, and I don't know how to feel about those strong root beers like that. Like it's definitely interesting. It's not bad by any means. I don't think it's bad at all. Out of any of the root beers that I've reviewed so far, it tastes the most similar to Teddy's, but Teddy's was a little bit more creamy and softer than BARQ'S. BARQ'S is like fierce, in your face root beer. Like it is pretty harsh. Like it says, it has that bite. It really does. It bites hard. And it does. It bites you. Like I think BARQ'S has bite is a very accurate depiction of this root beer. So like something I mentioned about root beers that I don't necessarily like is that like old man's cologne taste to it, and this definitely has it. BARQ'S definitely has that old man's cologne taste, and it's kind of upsetting, but I don't know. It's weird. And what I hate about BARQ'S right now is it is so close to being perfect, in my opinion. Like, if they tone down that bite just a little bit, like, if we had the bite of a Rottweiler and they toned it down to the bite of a kitten, I think it would be a good root beer. Not just a good root beer, one of the best root beer. But it's definitely an interesting root beer. It wakes you up. It has fierce. Like, if you're looking for a strong root beer that has a lot of fierce, I'd say definitely go for BARQ'S, because it has that fierceness. And like, it's not absolutely disgusting or anything, but it's different. Like, it's got that strongness to it. Now, a fun fact that I wanted to point out about BARQ'S is when I was researching BARQ'S, I found something that was really cool. I thought this was really interesting. So, in 1990, BARQ'S partnered with Pick and Save grocery store in DeKalb, Illinois. And when they collabed, they created the world's largest root beer float. It was mixed in an above ground swimming pool in the parking lot, and it consisted of 1,500 gallons of BARQ'S root beer. 1,500. That's in its gallons too. It's not like a can or a mug or like that's a lot of root beer. It's also got 1,000 gallons of vanilla ice cream, which that is a lot of ice cream too, and I can't imagine what that was like when it melted. I wondered the time of year that they made this happen. I'm gonna have to see if I can find a picture of it, but if not, just take my word for it that it's out there. It happened. So something about this BARQ'S root beer, it's making me feel funny. It's making me feel like I'm about to do something, but I don't know what. It's making me feel weird. It's BARQ'S root beer. I'm barking. That's the joke. That's the joke. That's the video right there. I'll see myself out.
The root beer shelf. You thirsty, partner?
So what would I rate BARQ'S root beer? So it definitely has that bite. Like, it did a good job with its marketing on that. However, I don't find that bite to be very pleasant tasting. And as I sit with the aftertaste of it in my mouth, I don't like it at all. Like, it really hurts my throat almost. So, I think I'm going to give BARQ'S a 7.5 out of 10. Final rating. As we go in for the final sip, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. And once again, thank you, Jeff and Terry, for gifting me this root beer and letting me try it out and review it. It's been a while since I've had BARQ'S root beer, so it's good to have it again and get this video out and review it. And I just want to thank all my viewers and subscribers out there. So go ahead and like and subscribe and comment and just share as well, because get the word out there of what I'm doing. I want to get the word out that root beer is a phenomenal drink, and I want to get my reviews out there and tell people what's good. So thank you guys so much for watching. So here we go, final sip. And with that, I like to say, good job.
As my next victim, you, me, you're next. You thirsty, partner?